Welcome to this video, where we're going to be making an easy, soft lotion bar for dry skin. Look, if you're dealing with rough hands, tired feet, or those stubbornly cracked elbows that just desperately need some extra comfort, you are in the exact right place. We're going to take some really simple, natural components and create a beautiful, rich topical that literally melts right into your skin.
So, before we get to the exact measurements, let's just do a quick rundown of our agenda for today. First, we'll cover why you should make your own, then what to expect, followed by an ingredient spotlight, the complete balm recipe, and we'll wrap up with safety and storage tips.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, Why Make Your Own?
Now, making your own topicals is a game changer because it allows you to dial in the exact level of richness you need for those notoriously rough spots, like cracked elbows and heels. When you buy something off the shelf, well, you're pretty much stuck with their formula, right? But when you make it yourself, you have absolute, total control over the ingredients, the texture, and the final skin finish. You know exactly what's going on to your body, and that peace of mind is huge.
The real beauty of this specific project is just how adaptable it is. Honestly, it's highly beginner-friendly. Once you've got your liquid base, you can pour it straight into a jar if you're the kind of person who prefers scooping it out, or you can pour it into a silicone mold to create a super easy glide-on lotion bar. Plus, you can easily tweak the firmness and customize it with gentle scents to make it 100% your own. Moving right along to Section 2, What to Expect. Let's manage those expectations a bit.
The source material clearly distinguishes that this recipe is a comforting part of a body care routine meant to soothe overworked skin. It is, at its core, a topical moisturizing balm. While research into topical cannabinoids is definitely developing and showing some really cool potential for skin comfort, we need to be crystal clear here. This is not a medically proven treatment for arthritis, pain, or specific skin diseases. It's simply designed to be a deeply comforting, soothing addition to your daily self-care routine.
Okay, Section 3, the ingredient spotlight. Let's break down exactly what goes into this.
First up, we've got cocoa butter. What's really interesting here is how cocoa butter acts as our absolute foundation. It gives us this firm, creamy base that melts beautifully the second it hits dry hands and feet, leaving a wonderfully protective layer behind. And as a bonus, it has this natural, warm, chocolate-like aroma. That means you get a beautifully scented product right out of the gate without needing to add any heavy synthetic fragrances. Next is our Cannabis-Infused Olive Oil. Now, olive oil on its own is deeply moisturizing, but in this recipe, it acts as our carrier oil. It brings a really soft, spreadable feel to the final bar, allowing it to easily glide across your skin. But most importantly, it delivers those active plant compounds from the cannabis directly to whichever localized area you're treating. And remember, the strength is going to depend entirely on how you infused your oil, giving you even more control over the final product.
Then we have beeswax. Think of beeswax as the structural backbone of this entire recipe. It's the magic ingredient that turns our liquid oils and butters into a solid state. It also leaves a very light, breathable barrier on the skin that physically reduces moisture loss. So the really crucial point here is that you can easily adjust this. Reduce the beeswax if you want a softer, scoopable balm, or increase it slightly if you want a much firmer lotion bar that can stand up to warmer room temperatures. Now let's talk about vitamin E. It is absolutely vital to note that vitamin E is included strictly as an antioxidant, not a broad-spectrum preservative. Its specific job is to slow down the oxidation of the oils. Essentially, it prevents the oils from going rancid too quickly, which keeps your blended lotion bar much fresher for a whole lot longer.
Finally, we have essential oils. These are completely optional botanical additions designed to give your bar some extra character and aromatics. If you do decide to use them, you want to keep them at a safe 1% dilution rate. Gentle options like lavender, geranium, or Roman chamomile work wonderfully for a skin-soothing balm. On the flip side, stronger oils, think peppermint or tea tree, should be used with extreme care, especially if you plan on using this balm on delicate skin.
All right, Section 4, the complete balm recipe. Let's check out the 100-gram formula. Let's see how all these ingredients come together. Because this is designed as exactly a 100-gram batch, these specific gram weights seamlessly double as your percentages. It's a neat little trick that makes it incredibly easy for you to scale the recipe up or down depending on how much you want to make. You're going to need 50 grams of cocoa butter, 32 grams of your cannabis-infused olive oil, 16 grams of beeswax, 1 gram of vitamin E, and 1 gram of your chosen essential oils. It's a simple, clean, and perfectly balanced formulation.
To actually make it, just follow these 5 straightforward milestones. First up, add your cocoa butter, infused olive oil, and beeswax to a heat-proof bowl set over a pan of gently simmering water.
Warm it slowly until it's completely melted. Second, remove it from the heat and let it cool slightly. You've got to take special care not to overheat the mixture once your infused oil is in there. Third, when it's cooled but still liquid, gently stir in your vitamin E and essential oils. Fourth, pour that liquid into clean, dry tins or silicone molds. And finally, just leave it to cool at room temperature until it sets up and becomes firm.
And that brings us to Section 5, Safety and Storage Tips. Let's make sure we keep it fresh. Since this is an anhydrous, which just means water-free balm, it wonderfully avoids the need for broad-spectrum chemical preservatives. But that also means water is your absolute enemy here. You have to keep water out of your storage jars entirely, and you absolutely must apply the balm with clean, dry hands to prevent any sort of contamination or bacterial growth. Always store your finished bars or tins in a cool, dry place, well away from direct sunlight and heat.
Assuming it's stored carefully, far away from things like warm bathroom humidity, your balm is going to have a perfect, firm texture on day one, and it will generally last you a solid 6 to 9 months. However, as a strict rule of thumb, you should discard it immediately if you ever notice the smell, color, or texture changing, or if it starts to smell even a little bit rancid.
So you now have all the tools, the exact measurements, and the ingredient knowledge required to formulate this rich, comforting balm right in your own kitchen. Read the full blog post in much more depth. The website link is in the description box below.